This video is all about understanding the difference between BPPV and Meniere's disease, because how can you have any hope of recovering if you don't know what kind of vertigo you have? Make sure to watch until the end because I'll tell you what you can do to recover from both kinds of vertigo. Let's start with what BPPV is and how to recognize it. BPPV stands for Benign Paroxysmal Positional Vertigo, which means a feeling of spinning that comes on suddenly from certain head positions. It's called benign because it's not life-threatening or progressive, even though it is intense and debilitating. It's caused when particles in the inner ear, called otoconia, come loose and enter one of the inner ear canals. This is a fluid-filled canal that helps our brain process head movement, and when these particles move inside the canal, they cause a false sensation of spinning. Vertigo attacks from BPPV are a sudden, intense feeling of spinning that only lasts for 30 to 90 seconds. It can cause nausea and vomiting during the attack, but afterwards it will settle down and you will be fine until another attack is triggered. BPPV attacks are only triggered by specific head movements that cause the particles in the inner ear to move. These include getting into and out of bed, rolling over in bed, and looking up or down. Meniere's disease is also a cause of vertigo and happens when the body produces an excessive amount of inner ear fluid, which causes the inner ear to expand. This expansion causes some damage to the inner ear and interferes with the inner ear function and can alter blood flow. This results in the feeling of vertigo. A vertigo attack from Meniere's disease can last from 20 minutes up to several hours. This can cause the sufferer to vomit over and over again, and they may not be able to stand up and will have to sit down or lay down until it stops. During this attack, the ear might feel stuffy. You may also hear a roaring sound, kind of like the sound of a vacuum cleaner, and you may not be able to hear very well out of that ear during the episode. After the episode ends, ear function tends to improve, but over time, hearing loss and balance tend to decrease. It's a progressive condition, meaning it tends to get worse over time. Comparing the two conditions, there are some pretty obvious differences. Meniere's disease is much less common and episodes are much longer, usually lasting at least 20 minutes or up to several hours, whereas BPPV attacks are usually less than 90 seconds. So the feeling of stuffiness in the ear and the hearing loss and the roaring sound of Meniere's disease are all distinguishing symptoms that are not present with BPPV. BPPV attacks are all pretty much the same and triggered by head movements, whereas Meniere's attacks are not triggered by head movements and will hit you out of the blue. If you have Meniere's disease, it's definitely worth working with a specialist like an ENT or a neurologist specializing in vertigo disorders to get a definitive diagnosis and a treatment plan. But there are things that you can do to help as well. You may notice that poor diet like excess sugar and other inflammatory foods can make episodes more frequent and more intense. Stress and lack of sleep or poor quality sleep will also likely make your attacks worse. Working to improve these things can improve your condition. There's also a research-backed vitamin protocol that is simple and cost-effective that has helped many people that you can try. I made a video on it and I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. If you have BPPV, I created a step-by-step program that can instantly relieve your vertigo and teach you how to keep it from coming back. Just click the link at the end of the video to check it out.